How's it going, everybody? What's up? Broke Boy Tactical here, and tonight I'm bringing you the Cold Steel SRK, probably one of the most iconic fixed blades of all time. And for good reasons. So, which version is it? Is it the SK5 version? Is it the Sanmai VG-10 version, or is this the 3V version? Well, I'll just go ahead and spoil it for you. This is the Sanmai VG-10 version, but there's a reason why I chose this version, for a very specific reason. I could have gotten the 3V. It was only $50 more, but I didn't want it. 3V is, from what I know about steel, is known for one thing, and that is bushcraft. And I'm not interested in bushcraft. I'm a weapons enthusiast. I am a weapons collector, and I wanted my combat knife to be made as a combat knife. So I went ahead and, like I said, went with the Cold Steel Sanmai VG-10. Because the forging technique used for this knife is the ancient Japanese technique of making swords. Yes, that is correct. Sanmai is a forging technique, not a type of steel. A lot of people think that Sanmai is a type of steel. It's not. So basically what it is, you see this white line here? That's the Sanmai forging technique. So what they do, in this case VG-10, they take their harder steel and they sandwich it between two softer steels to form the blade. And the reason they do that is because there's benefits to having a harder steel and there's benefits to having a softer steel. And let me go over those real quick. Harder steels are really good at holding an edge and staying sharp for a long time. But they also are known for being brittle. So there's a downside to that. Softer steels are not don't stay sharp for very long. They do not have good edge retention. But where they do shine is that they are very flexible. They're very soft. And what that is good for is hard impact. So when your blade goes smashing into something, whatever that may be, a softer steel is less likely to break than a harder steel. But it's not going to hold its edge for very long. You use that knife a few times and it's probably going to go dull. So the Sanmai technique gives you the best of both worlds. It gives you the impact, durability, and resistance of a softer steel with the edge retention of harder steel. So everything below that white line you see right there, VG-10. Everything up here is a softer steel. So when you go to cut through something, it's less likely to break. And you see this sharpened swedge up here? To my knowledge, this is the only model that I know that comes with a sharpened swedge. This is actually sharp. Not like razor sharp, but literally it probably would not take me much filing to get that ridiculously sharp. My SK5 version did not come sharp like that at all whatsoever. That is a ridiculously intense sharp swedge, and that's going to be good for piercing. And there's no other way around it, guys. This is a combat knife made in an ancient Japanese technique of making weapons. And it's also made of a Japanese steel. I mean, just guys. This thing's a win-win across the board. If you're looking for, I will say it, a defensive weapon instead of a bushcrafting knife, this is your SRK. You can get the SK5 version. It will not come with a sharpened swedge, but it does come with a swedge, so you could sharpen it yourself in theory. It's SK5. It's a great Japanese tool steel. I mean, you could go with that if you want to, but if you're looking for something purpose-driven and designed for its intended purpose, I feel like if you're looking for a combat weapon and you want an SRK to be that combat weapon, this is the model that you want. It's just, I mean, it's even forged to be a weapon. It's forged differently than any of the other SRKs out there. It's completely unique than any of the other SRKs. It is by far my favorite knife of all time. Just to go over the specs real quick with you guys. Sorry about that. Here's the box. We have a blade length of 6 inches, an overall length of 10 3/4 inches, steel VG-10 Sanmai, weight 8.1 ounces, blade thickness 5 millimeters. I'll show you that in a second. It's ridiculous. Blade handle length 4 3/4 inches, and the material is Crayex, which is Kraton, which is a super weather impervious like rubber. This is going to stand up to heat. This is going to stand up to sub-zero temperatures, rain. This is just a really well-built knife. Very well textured, extra grippy in case your hands get wet. Yeah, this knife isn't going anywhere. Once it's in your hands, it's there. I promise you. You will not be losing this knife. I absolutely love this blade. I mean, what else can I say about it, guys? It is a little pricey. The SRK SK5 version goes for about $44. This knife is $143. If you want the 3V version, that's going to be like $205. But like I said, the 3V version, I don't really feel like that steel is designed for combat. I think it was designed for bushcraft. I could be wrong. Maybe it is great for combat. If it is and the 3V version is what you want, get that one. But since the Japanese have been doing this for like 1,000 years, forging weapons and knives and swords like this, and we all know how famous they are for their cutlery and especially, you know, their swords and how sharp they are and how they can just cut through anything. And you have a excellent 6-inch combat knife here with that exact same forging technique in a Japanese steel. I just, round of applause for this knife. Thanks for sticking around, guys. This is my favorite knife of all time. I really appreciate you guys watching. If you could like and subscribe, that would be great. Just thank you so much. We'll see you next time.